my favorite things about Apex is the Apex Christmas Parade. You know, we raised our son here when he was little. We would take him to the parade. You know, something special about a nighttime parade. And a nighttime parade in downtown Apex, with all of the charm and character that downtown Apex has already, was just really something special that I think we've always enjoyed ever since our son was very small. I think another thing is just, another memory is just how we've seen downtown Apex develop. When we first moved here, first of all, there were 4,000 people in Apex when we moved here. And downtown Apex was nothing like it is today. The depot was the library. Some of the storefronts were empty, and nobody really went downtown. And to see downtown Apex evolve into such a charming and lively place. You come down here on Friday nights and the place is hopping. So it's just a great thing that I remember about being here in Apex. I think one of the important memories of my life is being able to run the Chamber of Commerce for a year and a half. That was a real opportunity, and the people that I got to meet, the stories that I got to hear, the things I got to be involved in as far as things like welcoming new businesses to town, welcoming new people to town. You know, we were in the depot, and people would just kind of come in, and they would come in and ask us questions, come in and tell us stories. I think one of the neat stories that I heard was the son of the family that had the movie theater downtown. And he was telling me all these incredible stories. He told me one story. Somehow, like back in the 50s, they arranged to have Boris Karloff come to Apex in full Frankenstein regalia for a movie. And he ended up scaring a lot of the patrons. And that was just a story I'd never heard before. What makes Apex home to me is that we've made it home. When we first moved here, we got involved very early. I ended up spending 10 years on the planning board for the town of Apex. I'm a charter member of the Apex Sunrise Rotary Club. Our son played, baseball with Apex Rec League. Of course, I helped run the chamber for a year and a half. Started Peak City Pig Fest. So we've just been involved, and that's what makes it home. You can't be home by staying home. You've got to get involved, and that's what we did. Well, you know, looking at Apex potential, I think one of the important things is we're blessed with a great location, and that's something that I think other communities would love to have. Our proximity to Raleigh, to Durham, to RTP, proximity to the airport, the interstate. I mean, everything just makes Apex like the perfect, place for so many things, whether it's to live or to work or to come visit. So I see the potential for Apex just incredible over the next few years. All right, well, a little history of Peak City Pig Fest. So it's put on by the Apex Sunrise Rotary Club. So most people don't know, our club is only like 12 or 13 years old. So we were sitting around after our first year in the club, saying, what's our fundraiser going to be? Every Rotary Club has a fundraiser. We started thinking, we says, well, spaghetti's taken, chili's taken, pancakes are taken. What are we going to come up with? And somebody said, well, how about one of these barbecue competitions like we see on TV? And I said, well, I watch those. Let me look into it, just kind of see what's involved. So I went home, went to my office and started looking. And by that afternoon, I'd already purchased peakcitypigfest.com. I said, that's going to be, I said, I don't know if anybody's going to like it or not, but I've named it Peak City Pig Fest. And I spent the next year putting the festival together. And I have to say that the town and the police department especially were so great about kind of walking me through what it takes to put a festival on, especially in downtown Apex. It's a lot more involved than people might think it is. So it literally took us an entire year. We had to get sanctioned by the Kansas City Barbecue Society. We had to start getting the word out to cook teams, because there are cook teams all over the country, have them come in, and to work with the town. I'll tell a story. Former town manager Bruce Radford was on board from the start. And so one of the things that I had to do as an organizer to get trained for PigFest was to visit another competition. And so I'd heard that Rocky Mountain was a great competition and that's the one I should visit. So I invited Bruce to come down with me just to see what was involved with the city to do that. And Bruce looked around and there was like temporary electric and temporary water, and Bruce said, "We can do better." So what Bruce ended up having done is he installed permanent water and permanent electric in the cook team area. First time the cook teams came to PigFest, he said, "Man, you built us an RV park." I said, "Pretty much." So we started out, first competition, we had 36 teams. And so we got 36 teams. The winning team was from California. Figure that. The next year we increased it to 40 teams. And then the next year we increased it to 48 teams. And that's about our capacity in the area that we do it in downtown Apex. But the first one I remember, because first it was just going to be a barbecue competition. Then it kind of morphed into a competition and a street festival, all right? I showed up on Saturday morning, and I'm looking at this is amazing. We did it with just volunteers, Rotary Club volunteers and friends and family and everything like that. I'm looking at this thing take shape. But I'm also looking around and says, that's got to change, and that's got to change, and that's got to change. Because, you don't think of everything. But anyway, it morphed into this huge, huge festival. Pig races were a favorite. The music was a favorite. Obviously, the barbecue teams, we got a great reputation among the barbecue teams because of the way that not only we as the Rotary Club treated them, but the way the town treated them. And I told them, I says, go into downtown, patronize the businesses, tell them you're here for PigFest, just let them know. All the downtown businesses have been great. I visit every downtown business a few weeks before the festival. Talk to them, listen to any concerns, because there are some when you close streets. Listen to their praise, listen to their ideas. And so we're getting ready for our 12th annual Peak City Pig Fest. We missed 1 year because of COVID. It's taken a little different look now. When we first came back after COVID, we said, what's people's appetite going to be for a festival with a bunch of people around? And so we scaled it down a little bit because we were like, we don't want to do all this effort for a big downtown festival and have nobody show up. Well, the response was overwhelming. It was. We had added a beer garden a few years before. We'd added a Friday night event a few years before. And the turnout both Friday and Saturday was incredible. And we really liked the footprint. Even though it was a little smaller, we really decided we really liked that footprint there across from the police station and down Saunders Street. And so we decided to stick with that even after that first post-COVID year. And so again, it's turned into a favorite. We have a lot of teams that come back every year. They tell us we're one of their favorite competitions. I actually got invited to KCBS national meeting to talk about the financial success of Peak City Pig Fest. We've raised over $300,000 for local charities in our first 11 events. And that's everybody from Western Way Crisis Ministry to Alzheimer's to a lot of smaller charities. We made a commitment to keep the money within our community as much as we can, so we've done that. And so KCBS invited me to come to their national meeting because a lot of the competitions just break even. And they wanted to know, how did this little Rotary Club in Apex, North Carolina, somehow make it work? And we have made it work. And the town is still a great partner with us, and we appreciate that. Our club is still all in, and we're looking forward to doing it for years to come.